I mean, like, seriously, what's the fucking difference? What's the difference?
I just think that softcore porn.
She's shaking her ass. Look, oh, she's now shoeless and braless, dancing for the kids or whatever. Like, yeah, dude, we had this argument.
Couldn't softcore porn also be like a bunch of like dry humping and like grabbing on each other?
Yeah, no, this is it. I just think the softcore porn is something that provides absolutely nothing except sexually explicit content. Like, there's nothing else.
What does it matter what it provides?
Because that's like
it provides my hard cock.
Like, because when you're watching it, you're not watching it for anything else other than to watch a girl be sexual. Like, you're not doing anything, and she's humping phallic objects. She's just, in general, it's just like a sexually explicit stream. So that's what.
Do you think this is every single streamer? Like, you have to like define. Like, it's weird.
But there's plenty of it. That's
do you
just
think,
what I consider.
do you think every single? Well, hold on. Can you like? Let's try to like get your definition of a hot tub stream, because that's like a really vague statement, and I kind of want to just try to like localize it somewhere. So you think that every hot tub streamer is like humping objects, or do you think that it's like?
I don't know. I think the biggest ones are. Like, I've seen like Amaranth doing it. I've seen Andy Bottom doing
Amaranth.
it. Yeah, I think they all do. Like,
do you think that every single hot tub streamer is like only like what's the word? The only thing you're watching is like them for their body and their sex appeal, or do you think there's any of these ones that like for any other reason could be being watched?
Not when they're hot tub streaming.
Yeah, body. It's literally a body.
Not when they're hot tub streaming. If they're gaming or doing something else, like but not a hot tub stream is just watching them sit in a hot tub. That's the whole point.
My third question for you is: do you think Twitch is only gaming or should be only gaming?
I think that not only gaming. I think IRL content is fine. I just don't think that content that's just only exclusively just to be sexual. I just personally don't think it should be on Twitch. That's just my
What
opinion.
kind of IRL content do you think is okay?
I don't know, like.
Do you think Ice Poseidon, what he was doing at his time?
Like what me and Augie would do or whatever. Just like normal.
No, what about like Ice Poseidon? What about like
I don't know what that has to do with like.
Well, I'm trying to gauge on what you think should be on Twitch and what shouldn't be on Twitch. So do you think like an Ice Poseidon stream should be on Twitch? Do you think that like who's the other guy? Not before he went to the Capitol, obviously, but
Baked Alaska.
Baked Alaska. Do you think Baked Alaska? No, because these are like popular IRL streamers. Andy Milonakis.
Lines that things cross that like break like what's like acceptable. I don't know. It's like a case by case thing. I just think in general that the idea of like content that's only to be sexually explicit and just show off your body and ride hot dogs, I personally don't think it should be on Twitch. If you disagree, I mean, I'm not like controlling.
But you're like giving me like you're kind of like pseudo TOSing me right now. Like, is this a TOS problem or is this a moral issue?
I mean, I agree. We agree on the TOS.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna find any disagreement on TOS. Yeah. It's obviously breaking TOS.
But for me, I just personally don't. I guess it's a moral thing for me personally, which is just.
All right, that's the point that I'm trying to make about all of this. Is that like, you're arguing morality with me, and you obviously have a completely different moral makeup of me. You obviously believe in very different things and stuff like that. I just think it's funny that you're like playing the.
Well, according to the biblical TOS, women can't be whores. So.
I'm just saying that like things you're arguing with me are things that like make my head spin. Which is why I quote tweet and write Lamau, because you said like Twitch is mostly children between the age of 13 and 17, and stuff like this like is like damaging to them or something. Maybe not damaging, but you said something really cringy about it. And then I go like, why are you playing the save the kids argument? You're like, I'm not playing a save the kids argument.
Yeah, no, what I actually said is, and you said I walked back my statements. If anything, I walked forward. I like went even down. I said originally I think it's degenerate for like adult women to do this on a site that's like mostly kids. I just think that that's degenerate.
So you don't think but wait, but how is this
forward
but like the site's mostly kids?
I mean, I said what is it, a plurality, which I think is I believe is true. I think it's like 45 or 40% or something is 13 to 17. I can't remember the exact stats, but it's like a plurality.
And I can even give you the benefit of the doubt. If those are the stats, there's probably a lot of people lying about their age, I assume. Any website stats are hilariously wrong. I think when people bring up the YouTube stats a lot, they're like, look at my demographic. I'm like, you know that every single person lies and says they're 18 to get one like the age-restricted videos, right? Like, you know, in the UK now, you have to like show ID to get an age-restricted video by law.
AIDS.
That you have to like, you literally have to send YouTube your ID to watch age restricted.
I heard about that. Yeah, that's pretty AIDS.
And it can't do anything about it.
Yep. Dude.
I don't know. It's like, I know this like makes everybody groan, but it's like a super religious take. Like that's like most of the people who have this take are usually like either Catholic or, I mean, I don't know. You know, like coming from that kind of sector.
Maybe, I don't know. I think maybe recently it's changed, but I said this before. I don't know. You never acknowledged it, but I mean, it used to be a thing that women were against, like, men just objectifying them, or like it being mainstream to just be objectified. But now it's like cool and awesome to just like objectify yourself all the time.
Well, I think there's a difference between like Transformers, that director. Who's the director for Transformers? One that likes explosions.
Michael Bay.
Michael Bay, like
yeah.
kind of Michael Bay, like objectively, was filming 17-year-old Megan Fox in like extremely sexual positions and stuff like that, and she wasn't cool with it, right? Like that's an example of like objectifying women. I struggle to see how a girl joining OnlyFans in 2021 or choosing willingly.
It's
to
about
get, like, extra
it's about the women
donations.
having their own agency. Like the men don't objectify us; we choose to objectify ourselves if we choose to, and if we don't, we got that respect.
It's like this whole empowerment thing.
Yeah, well,
it's like women's rights until like they choose to do it anyway. Like, I mean, I don't know.
I think the thing is, it's about normalization. So it's like normalizing objectifying women. That's the argument. This doesn't. Women have chosen to objectify themselves like forever. Everyone chooses to do stuff like that, but it's like.
So then, why do we need to step in and tell them what they're doing is wrong?
I just think that
I think that's like a woman movement. Like if a bunch of women want to like stand together and be like, this is objectifying.
Is it really objectification though if they're choosing to do it?
Yeah, a bunch of people told women they couldn't drive for the longest time. I mean, like
they can't.
That doesn't how you could. I don't think that's relating to my argument at all.
No, it absolutely is. Like, I mean, they said that like people told women that you got to stay in the kitchen. Women weren't able to get jobs and stuff like that. We're going all the way back, but like and stuff like that. And they were like stay-at-home moms, and then now they're not. But like now, do you want us to like?
I'm not
edge them into like a certain.
Thank you for the €20.
It's like but it's like women's rights. Give them agency to choose, and then they just choose to do something you don't like, and you're like, wait a minute.
I mean, I don't know. I just think that the normalization of like objectifying women used to be something that women were against.
Society began to collapse when we gave them the right to vote. They started electing all these like liberals and shit, and then we started.
Let's be honest. Whether they're objectified or not, we all know that there's big juicy titties under there, so it doesn't fucking matter, dude. We're gonna fucking thirst. People are gonna simp over them till the end of time, dude, unless they're gay.
Oh my God.
Gays simp over guys.
Yeah, true.
And I also had a question. You kept mentioning it's not a step down from camgirling. What would you consider a step down from camgirling?
Would be a step down from camgirling.
I feel like OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Not nude, but lewd.
Well, in some ways, it's up or down. I guess that's kind of like a horizontal.
Yeah, how is like Twitch?
Well, Camgirl is like a stream, and then OnlyFans is like a picture and text.
How is it? That's what I'm wondering.
It'd be like a step down.
You could stream on OnlyFans too.
Oh, well, I don't use it, so I wouldn't know.
I don't use it either, but I know.
Wait, Tipster, how do you know the streams on there?
I don't think anything like inherently being
You've literally seen some of these
online
OnlyFans chicks talk about that shit. Like what?
All right, so I don't think anything inherently being sexual online is like a step down from being a cam girl. I think a cam girl is a very specific job that's usually pretty shitty for a lot of people that they get like pushed into. I think a lot of these streamers are making more money than cam girls and stuff like that.
Thank you for the 5 Luna Lizzie.
At least historically, maybe it's gotten better. But yeah, dude, a cam girl like recording yourself sleeping and shit, or getting on there and like getting naked or whatever when people are like throwing money at them is very different than like being on Twitch.
Doing the exact same thing, but in a bikini.
It's not the exact same thing.
Even if they're just the cam girls are taking their little fucking like my free cams tokens or whatever the fuck to like masturbate and shit.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I'm sorry. I see writing a name on a board and like here's this. It's giving the same amount of money to like shove a dildo in their vagina to be like.
What if they're painting their body, bro?
Well, so you're making the
or
argument
in a hot tub.
But you're also making the argument that it's some sort of like really extreme thing like that they're doing.
Yeah, I would say like I guess they're comparable in a way that like 0 to 1 million. Yeah.
Huh?
What?
Like I would say like Twitch being 0 and maybe like cam girling to be like 1,000. Like 0 to 1,000, they're comparable. Like yeah, both of them are streaming and both of them are doing things for money. Just one of them involves like slapping their fucking boobs together and like for money, and the other one involves like being attractive on camera. I don't think the two of them are like
Wait, do you think that Do you think that the camgirl streams are not, or not the camgirl streams, but the hot tub streams are not sexual?
No, that's not what I'm arguing at all.
Okay, I was just wondering, like, if you.
He
thought
says
that,
they're like level 1 sexual.
Oh, it's very
and
clear the
girls
intent
level
of what these girls are doing.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, like,
I don't think the logical next step is to go from like that to like.
Well, I'm just wondering what the next logical step is. Like, because you go from that to what?
Why would you like? I guess if you're going full like pornography mode, I would say you'd go to OnlyFans. But I think for the most part, the logical step is to continue doing that and then go back to game streaming when they ban it.
So I'm asking about the step forward.
I think it's a loophole. I don't think it's a permanent thing on the website.
Yeah. I think it's fair to say it's a step down from camgirling. I think the whole reason it's a step down is they're not the same. That's when you say something's a step down, you're saying they're not the same, but they're like akin or similar.
Yeah, but like a step down implies that it's like a close line, and I completely disagree.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's clearly sexual.
It's like point A to point
B.
What
is everything like is sexual the be all? Like, is it?
Well, I mean, like
a lot of things are sexual.
I think a good litmus test is.
Do you think like
would you be okay with minors doing it? And if you're not, then it probably shouldn't be.
What do you mean?
What the fuck? Like,
all right,
holy shit.
Never mind. Leave him completely out of the conversation.
That litmus test is hella extreme.
So what am I doing?
Hold on. Why are we leaving that conversation out? Wait, that's
stupid as fuck. Hold on. So
whoa,
if you want to compare, okay, if you want to compare, like Twitch streaming to camgirling, that's like saying taking attractive Instagram photos is a step down from OnlyFans.
That's not what I said.
Hold on, that's a fair.
No, I'm talking to Connor. I'm talking to Connor. I'm not even encouraging that.
If you're saying that it's like not sexual,
a good litmus test to figure out whether or not the entire purpose of the stream is to be sexually suggestive. That I think the best way to determine is would you be okay if a minor did it, and I don't think anyone in the call would be okay with minors doing hot tub streams.
Yeah, so it's like, how would you feel about like
Bowblax?
I don't think you ever gave an answer. Like, how would you feel about like a 14-year-old?
What do you mean? I gave you an absolute answer. I don't think 14-year-olds should be streaming.
Yeah, but like, okay, but you said for other reasons, but that's not.
Yeah, myriad of other reasons. I don't think 14-year-olds should be streaming in general. How do I answer that question? Like, I'd have to say, like, here's all my reservations about 14-year-olds live streaming, and here's exactly why in this one specific instance that I think they shouldn't.
You're saying,
like, I have an absolute reservation for doing it in general.
Because they're just like young and they shouldn't be doing that, or like what? Like, that's what I'm wondering. Like,
I don't think that children should be exposed to that kind of environment at
Women
all.
creators are shaping the gaming.
Oh yeah, children shouldn't have an online platform that big.
I think we've seen time and time again how that's gone extremely poorly. I think that the entire group of kids who are on YouTube right now, like, I don't want to throw any names out, but there are YouTubers who hang out with, like, I don't know, like, yeah, actually, you know what? I'll throw one example out. There's guys like Aiden, who's like, all of his friend group is like 20 to 25 or whatever, and he's like fucking 14, 15 years old and shit like that. I think there's a lot of kids like that whose like entire friend group is like grown adults or YouTubers they watch or people in the Discord community of YouTubers they watch. And I think that 25. Makes you like, I'm sorry, your age is 21. Sorry, 21 to 25. Is that
19.
better?
Are you retarded? Like, huh?
I'm just saying, I think there's like a significant number of people. Is that like really an important distinction to make? They're significantly older than
19 to 25? Like, yeah, I think so, buddy. Like, huh?
What do you mean?
Okay, that's the thing. That's the thing.
I mean, you can't rent a car until you're 25.
He's acting like
I'm just saying they're obviously not his own age.
Dudes. Like,
what? I'm not saying that everyone who hangs out with Aiden is a creepy ass dude. I'm saying he doesn't have a lot of friends.
He hangs out with like me and Lofi and Dumpy. Like, that's who his friends are.
I mean, he bounces around from friend group
17 to 19.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the issue with Aiden is he needs to hang out with people. Actually,
are you going to deny that there's like a lot of extremely socially like inept fucks who just hang out on Discord all the time?
Yes.
Who like probably aren't getting a lot of
Yeah, like us right now.
I know somebody who.
Just kidding.
Do that. I'm not going to name them on stream. I won't roast them. But like on the topic of like children creators, like young teens and shit. Have you seen Daniel Cohn recently?
Do
you remember all that shit? Have you seen where?
Not recently.
Yeah, not recently.
Literally, like.
How old is she now? 11.
Fuck, I can't remember.
I feel like she ages down.
I think her real age is 15. And she says she's.
Someone told me she was 18, and I'm like, oh, wow, I'm fucking old. She's 18 already. And then they're like, oh, no, that was another lied age, and I'm like, oh.
No. Her age is whatever she says it is. Take 2. That's the math I have from when I did a video on her.
So,
but yeah, I think she's 15. I think that's her legitimate age. Otherwise, her history is all.
If she's 15, I'm. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, don't finish that one, Augie, please.
Okay, it's the same as like Danielle Bregoli as well. Like, child star, and look where she's gone. Not saying anything bad about
I don't
it,
think
like,
children. It's healthy for children to have like really big YouTube channels or Twitch channels, but if they have like small ones that have like 100 subs or 1 viewer.
But wait, I'm confused. Like, this is because if I'm not denying that I think they're sexual in nature, that these these specific streams, then why can't I be of the belief that I don't think a 16-year-old should participate in them? But I also don't think they're problematic when an adult does it, especially when the adult does it on restricted mode for 17 and older.
I mean, power to them. They could do whatever they want.
Because I mean, you could make a TOS argument, but I already told you I agree with it.
I said,
so we're past that. We're talking about it from like a moral perspective. So like, why can't I be like, all right, I don't have a problem with adult doing this, but I would have a problem with kid doing this from a moral perspective. I agree with you on TOS.
Wait, what?
Wait, why?
Well, because everyone's saying it's like a moral argument. All right, so all right. Here's the deal. You join Light Flamenco. I'll give you the full rundown. If you want to argue with me that it's breaking TOS, I absolutely fucking agree with you 100%. It probably is breaking TOS. I totally understand animosity. I believe women get unfair treatment on this platform in terms of like they get too many passes and stuff like that. I think that people hold a lot of resentment for women on the platform because they're not punished equally as men are and stuff like that. And this is also kind of a shitty platform that bans for like everything in general. So like there's also a lot of animosity towards Twitch. Okay, so like that's where we are.
I'm not gonna make
Connor makes the argument that like I guess that I can't be both disavowing under 18 people from doing a hot tub stream and also from a moral perspective still okay with full legal adults doing it. I don't know if
the problem is that like Twitch is not a 18+ platform.
No,
like,
but there's certainly 18+ areas.
Are you okay
with
like
tag?
Sexually, like intentionally sexually charged like YouTube stuff?
Right, so I'm like totally happy that Twitter has porn on it. I think Gab is ultra cringe for being a free speech platform that has no porn on it. I think if YouTube had a pornography section that was super, I don't actually give a fuck. I don't think it's Twitter's job. Yeah, I think, dude, I think kids use Pornhub, bro. Okay, do I think that kids should be all watching Pornhub every single fucking day? No, absolutely not. I also understand that it's like an inevitability, and that's just what happens. So, like, if YouTube had an adult section, I wouldn't have a problem with it. If Twitch had an adult section, also wouldn't have a problem with it. But Twitch doesn't allow this kind of stuff on their website and stuff like that, and it's kind of a hypocrisy. I just don't think it reaches the level of sexual content where I'm like, holy shit, dude, this is sexual degeneracy, or holy shit, dude, this is softcore porn, because in all honesty it's not.
What would you define as sexual degeneracy then? At what point do you think it's
I would say sexual degeneracy is probably higher than softcore porn, actually. I mean, I think degenerate is like unforgivably ultra like super bad behavior, right?
I mean, when you think of degenerate, so you think of somebody who's doing something that's sexually abnormal, right?
So is it, what's the word, obscene? That you like obscenity that you
like
kind of
sticking shit up their ass or something.
Yeah, like that's like
so that would be
like degenerate. Connor's threshold for degenerate is like way lower than my thing for degenerate, and I use the term a lot.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure in legal terms, there's pornography and then there's obscenity, and obscenity is like the really fucked up shit.
Yeah, and like I don't know.
I would say that like rape is pretty degenerate. Right?
All right, yeah, I think all of us agree that rape is degenerate.
So rape
incest is probably degenerate. Shitting on girls is probably pretty degenerate. Yeah. But again, now we're entering the kink shaming land, and if you think I'm like kink shaming you because I think that peeing and shitting on people is kink shaming, then I'm absolutely doing it, and I think you're fucking weird. But like, yeah, that's like degenerate, right? I don't think that like this reaches that level. I think it's like a little
most kinks shouldn't be shamed. Right. I think that's a pretty fair
if
take.
You're gonna say degenerate and then say rape and then a bunch of kinks, I mean, obviously rape is way worse than any fucking kink.
Like if Connor was being hyperbolic, I wouldn't have a problem with any statement he's saying, but I don't think he is. Like I think like I see your argument was like in the beginning you came in like super hot. You're like, this is like degeneracy, this is degenerate behavior, this is a site for like kids on it and stuff like that, which makes me cringe every time I fucking hear it. There's a lot of kids on the site. Like, I mean, I don't care. It's not my job to parent anybody. It's not Twitch's job to parent anybody. I don't go like, I gotta censor my videos because kids might hear cuss words and stuff like that, even though people tell me I should. I don't live my life around what kids could be watching me on a site that like I'm not pushing for a child audience on.
So we still get the watch time.
You know,
I actually, so this is what I was meaning when I said I walked back. You said I walked back my argument, but really I walked forward. Originally, my argument was I just think that it's degenerate for adult women to do it on Twitch in particular. That's just what I was saying, because I just think that, like I said, the site is not an 18+ site. I just think it's degenerate to do sexually explicit content.
All right, let me tell you why I said that, because it was like very specific to that conversation. So I have to pull up the tweet.
I just think there's a lot of kids on Bitwave, and Bitwave streamers need to be more conscious of that fact. You know?
Dude, I'm glad Bitwave banned porn. I think it was like
really.
I'm
so glad, dude. My kid always went on Bitwave on his little iPad after YouTube Kids did.
Bitwave is where you go when you want to be doxxed and you hate anonymity.
No, Bitwave is where you go to like stream domestic violence, or you like beat the shit out of your life.
The only type of kid going on Bitwave is the autistic 12-year-old that Johnswan knows.
All right.
Yeah.
So
I don't think that accounts bad, by the way.
Do you think? Do you guys think that people who do these kind of streams, if like, because it's obvious that Twitch has decided this is their line, they're going to allow this because that's literally what the response said.
Did you see the guy that said he was against it?
Do you think that at the very least they should be required to age restrict this shit? Because I'm of the mindset that I think they should. Because currently, right now, they don't. You can check like all of these streams.
Isn't it
none of them are age
tag?
restricted.
Can't you put on the mature tag?
What I'm saying is degenerate is that there's adult women doing this on the
okay.
site. That's
so you said, do you think it's suggestive at worst and not sexually explicit content though? I would argue that why I said it was walking it back is that I think both suggestive and sexually explicit are probably below sexually degenerate in terms of severity.
Yeah.
Right. So you came in hot with like sexually degenerate. That's why like all of my tweets were about like sexually degenerate, because I was surprised that you used that terminology. So when you say like it's sexually explicit at work, I don't think that's semantics. I think that's like a fundamental difference in like life view. I think like we have two completely, and that's what dude, you were arguing with me in the beginning. Like, why are you not like taking? You were basically saying, why are you not taking this serious? Why are you LOLing me and stuff like that? Because it was obvious in the first 5 seconds of the conversation that we have like a fundamental worldview.
Right, let him respond.
So there was 2 things. First, originally I was saying I think the woman doing it on Twitch is sexually degenerate. A site that's not age restricted. I think that's ridiculous. And then I'm just saying, when I said sexually explicit, I'm just saying that their streams are sexually explicit. So I was talking about 2 completely different things when I was originally speaking about degeneracy and explicit. And then I was just trying to get your definition about what was like what you felt about it. That's why I was saying that.
All right.
And when I say I walked it forward, I just walked it forward in the sense that I just think cam grilling in general is just degenerate. But really, my original stance was just that I think it's degenerate for them to do it on a site that's not age restricted like Twitch. So that's what the whole difference between those differences came from.
So it's
like, how are they taking
on these
advantage of
streams though?
I guess it's like if they're metagaming, I guess you can argue taking advantage of the site.
Have you guys heard that Avery was having some drama with this Spanish Minecraft server the other day? I think it's really similar to this.
Honestly, Smaggled, I'm on his side, honestly. I think Avery fucked up.
Wait, are we still talking about the Avery server? What the fuck?
Yeah, there's like big
drama. Yeah, like, this is my issue. Like, it's